Title asterisk, From Wrestler to President. Hook, midnight to 0:30, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, stood tall in the wrestling ring, his fists clenched, ready to take on his opponent. But what's even more astonishing is that his wrestling career almost got him killed. He was challenged to a duel, and if he had lost, history would have been written differently. But here's the crazy part, he didn't just win the duel, he also won over 300 wrestling matches. What drove him to become a champion wrestler, and how did that same drive take him to the White House? Let's dive in. Section 1, The Struggle, 0:30 to 3 o'clock, you know the feeling of being underestimated, don't you? People doubting your abilities, thinking you're not good enough. That's exactly what Abraham Lincoln faced his whole life. Growing up in poverty, he had to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet. He was mostly self-educated, which made people question his intelligence. But Lincoln had a fire in his belly, a passion that drove him to succeed. He was a store clerk, a surveyor, and even a postmaster, but none of those jobs defined him. What he really loved was wrestling. He was known for his strength and agility, and people would come from all around to watch him take down his opponents. But wrestling wasn't just a hobby, it was a way for him to prove himself, to show the world that he was more than just a poor, uneducated boy from Kentucky. And then, something changed. Pauses for dramatic effect, he got into a near-fatal accident that could have ended his wrestling career forever. Pattern interrupt asterisk. Can you imagine if Lincoln had given up on his dreams after that accident? What if he had let fear hold him back? But he didn't. He kept pushing forward, and that's what we're going to explore next. Section 2, The Turning Point, 3 to 6 o'clock, it was 1831 when Lincoln's life took a dramatic turn. He was 22 years old and had just moved to New Salem, Illinois. He started working as a store clerk, but it wasn't long before he became involved in local politics. He ran for the Illinois state legislature and lost, but that didn't discourage him. He kept running, and in 1834, he finally won. This was the start of his political career, and it was largely influenced by his wrestling days. The discipline, the hard work, and the perseverance he developed as a wrestler helped him become a successful politician. But what's even more fascinating is that Lincoln's wrestling career also taught him how to connect with people, how to understand their struggles and empathize with them. He would often travel to different towns, wrestling and giving speeches, which helped him build a massive following. And then, on August 27, 1858, he delivered a speech that would change the course of history. Pauses for dramatic effect, but I'm not going to tell you what that speech was just yet. You'll have to keep watching to find out. Pattern interrupt asterisk. Now, you might be wondering, what does Lincoln's story have to do with you? Well, the truth is, we all face struggles and doubts, just like Lincoln did. But it's how we respond to those challenges that defines us. Are you ready to learn the exact steps Lincoln took to overcome his obstacles and achieve greatness? Section 3, The Method, 6 to 9 o'clock, here are the exact steps Lincoln took to become a champion wrestler and later, the President of the United States. 1. He set clear goals. Lincoln knew what he wanted to achieve, and he worked tirelessly towards those goals. Whether it was winning a wrestling match or becoming a politician, he stayed focused. 2. He developed a strong work ethic. Lincoln was known for his discipline and hard work. He would often wake up at 4 a.m. to practice his wrestling moves or study law. 3. He learned from his failures. Lincoln didn't give up when he lost a wrestling match or an election. He learned from his mistakes and used those lessons to improve himself. 4. He built a strong support network. Lincoln surrounded himself with people who believed in him, who encouraged him to pursue his dreams. And the last step, which I think is the most crucial one, is pauses for dramatic effect. He stayed true to himself. He didn't let the opinions of others define him. He remained authentic, and that's what ultimately led to his success. But there's one more thing, one more secret that Lincoln had, which I'm going to reveal in just a moment. Pattern interrupt asterisk.